Welcome back for another edition of our Windsor-Essex Home Builders Association's Parade of Homes, and we are back with the one and only Vince Lapico, VLC Custom Homes, former chair of our Windsor-Essex Home Builders Association as well, but now you've moved on to other associations a little bit higher up, provincially and nationally. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Oh, well, I was fortunate enough last year to be named to the executive committee for the Ontario Home Builders Association. And just recently, I was put on the national board of directors representing small locals across the country.
So that's a really big deal for Windsor-Essex, and I'm so excited because it's a big step for our local.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to make sure that all the wonderful things that are happening here in Windsor-Essex County are being talked about around the country. So anything that we can do to add exposure to our little neck of the woods it's a great opportunity for our area.
Let's do it. And speaking about things to talk about, we got to talk about this house today. First off, put it into perspective. Where are we located?
So right now we're on what you call Riverside Drive in Windsor, Ontario. It's essentially the main drag along the water. It goes pretty much from downtown Windsor, all the way out to the kind of the burbs. But this house here is situated on a really small lot, and we had some challenges trying to figure out how to make something amazing, but I think we did a pretty good job at it.
Oh my goodness. So when you drive in, first of all, you see the water. You have an amazing view. So obviously you were thinking about the positioning of the home and creating the layout. But with a narrow lot, when you come into the house, it doesn't feel narrow. So how did you achieve this?
Well, we just wanted to use as much wall-to-wall space as possible, and like literally from the west side of the house to the east side of the house with no walls in between, just to keep it as open as possible.
You told me a really interesting story too. When you look at the windows upstairs, you were saying to me, the plans initially, it didn't have this window and I added this in, or this had 2 windows and I put 3 here. Right. Really smart on how you made some adjustments and changes, and so much natural light.
Absolutely, because natural light in a situation like this, when you have such a narrow lot, you don't have a lot of room for windows on the side of the house. You don't want your neighbors kind of staring into your house. So you just need to maximize wherever you have the possibility to put light. So at the back of the house, essentially, we have wall-to-wall doors that gives you just tons of light through the house.
Yeah. So. And would the windows also allow it to make the space feel larger?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you have more natural light, it feels bigger. When you're in darker spaces, it feels smaller, right? Prime examples in the windows in the kitchen. We put them very high so that you still get the natural light, but you don't have to worry about your neighbors seeing you in your unmentionables.
Yeah, and you've got high ceilings too.
Yeah, so we have 10-foot ceilings on the main floor of this house.
Which just elevates everything.
Absolutely,
too.
Yeah. Gives you the volume.
Okay, so what's your favorite part of this home?
I really love this area here, but I also love the master bedroom.
It is spectacular.
The master bedroom's stunning. The way that's set up, that when you're laying in bed, you don't even have to turn your head to see the water view.
It's like it's right there, front and center. You have a beautiful fireplace at the foot of the bed. Yeah. Beautiful cabinetry. Well, the shelving, the bookcases, amazing out there. Let's talk about the kitchen now too, because this is first and foremost, we've got to talk about the marble effect along the back that I believe it was DeMonte that did the...
Yeah, absolutely. DeMonte does all of our solid surfaces. They do all of our countertops. In my opinion, I'm not just saying this, they are by far the best. Everybody I've ever worked with before, they're just the service, the quality of the product, their workmanship's just amazing. So it's great. It's kind of hard to see, but on the back side of the island, there's fluting that looks just like that on the vent hood, right? And when you're standing and you're looking at it, lines on the grain of the countertop match up with the grain on the fluting. It's just a small touch that's unbelievable. When we had this set up originally in the drawings, the island was facing that way, but I just didn't feel that it flowed really well with the house. So we were able to just kind of use our cabinet designer and just come up with a program and a plan that really worked well for this house. A lot of times when you get a set of drawings and they put, where the kitchen's supposed to be or a wall's supposed to be, when you're using a custom builder and they've done this stuff before, they know, no, let's maybe change it a little bit. Let's move this 6 inches, move this 8 inches, do things like that. So that's what we do when we do our products, right? So we're able to kind of design on the fly and get you the ability to kind of put things where they're most functional and where they look the best.
It's one of the many things that I adore about you but you always do. You look at the drawings and then you say, oh, we can make these changes. This is going to be more functional, more conducive to your needs.
Absolutely.
Or you're going to get better light. Let's change the windows. Let's change this. Instead of just going with what the plan initially was.
Right.
You're allowed to change the plans.
Absolutely, yeah. As long as we don't change structure, we can change walls, we can do all sorts of stuff. So that's kind of what we did here. And I worked with a new cabinet maker for this project. Happens to be a member and a past chair upcoming new chair.
Yeah,
to-
in Stratford
in
area.
Stratford. So,
PHBA,
Heather Galloway from Simply Divine Designs, they just killed it. They did such an amazing job in this house. The quality of their product is second to none, and their installation is phenomenal. So, it's a really good working with other members that just know what they're doing. It's just awesome.
And going back to the island, I can't even imagine it turned the other way now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because it just goes with the flow of the home.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what would be your favorite of the whole home?
I really love the general area here, and I just really love the master bedroom upstairs. So, I can't say that I have a favorite. I have a couple parts that I have like a little bit of an attachment to, like, something crazy like the mechanical room.
I was just going to mention that. I was like, you have to see the mechanical room for many reasons.
Yeah, the mechanical room is something that I took a lot of pride in. I actually did the majority of the work myself, and not because I didn't have somebody to do it. I just wanted to do it my own way.
It's your passion project. It's your passion.
Yeah. And long story short, a good friend of mine was the client for this house, and he got sick and passed away before we were able to finish the house. So I did the mechanical room after he was gone, and I knew he would have really, really appreciated that. And when he would have brought his friends over, because he was a very mechanical guy, loved, really cool stuff, that he would not bring people into the kitchen, show them the kitchen. He'd bring them into the mechanical room downstairs and show them all that stuff. So sorry for getting emotional, but just
a very special room. Yeah, that's a very special room, and a very special family moving into the home.
Amazing people. Bill is a fantastic guy. I wish he was able to physically be here and see everything, but I'm sure he's, looking down and saying, what a great job everything turned out. So him and his wife Ursula did a fantastic job of, working with us to be flexible on material choices and maybe going a little bit outside of their comfort zone, but they're super happy with the way everything turned out,
But that's the trust in you and the trust in having a great builder that knows what they're doing and has a vision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing this home with us today, Vince.
Thanks for coming.
It's a really special home, and we wanted you to see it before the homeowners move in, because they're moving in like next week.
Friday.
Okay. Yeah, like a day or so from now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching another episode of our Windsor-Essex Home Builders Association's Parade of Homes.